Right, so in this video I'm just going to take a quick look at how tallies work with NDI and some of the sort of intricacies and things that you can trip over using them. What we're seeing here is just a little Helm panel we put together showing me two NDI sources from VLC player up at the top. And then we're taking these two same sources, feeding them into a routemaster router system, and we're seeing the outputs from the routemaster system below that. In terms of tally, the little green LEDs I've got here will turn red when the program tally is on. So I've only got a program tally on these. The preview tallies work just the same, but just for simplicity, we're keeping this with just the program ones. The button I've got here is a way that basically is sending a message from the receiver, which is the video window here, to the NDI source saying you are now on program. So at the moment nothing is on program. As we see, all the lights are green. So I'm just going to set this source here, VLC1, to be on program. We see the tally turn red. If I were to look at that in Studio Monitor, we'd see it's got that red bar at the top there. So we can again just see how that turning it off and on is doing that. So that's all fairly straightforward. You can have multiple sources on program. You can flag multiple sources on program simultaneously. There's no kind of only one on program approach here. But let's have a look now at what we're seeing when we look at the router output here. As I'm switching the program tally on at the source, that message is then being sent to all the other things that are connected to that source, so the router system here, and the output of the router system is then receiving that same tally. So its light is turning red as well as we turn the program on. So that's as you'd expect. The tally flows from the source through the router to anything that's connected to the router. So let's just do that here. So that is now tallied on program. If I'm switching the router output to a different source, the one that's not on, that hasn't got the tally, again we're seeing the tally changing here. So it's going from red to green as I change sources. That's all fine as you'd expect. Where it gets interesting is the fact that rather than just setting this particular source to be on program, because the router output itself appears as a source, you can say that the router output is the program. So this is like a message that would be sent from the receiver, whatever's receiving the video, to the source to say it's on program. And when I do that, we're seeing it's got the red program tally on it. We also see the way that tally has propagated back to the original source. Even though I haven't specifically set it there, it's got that red tally light. And now if I change the routing, I say this router output is to show me a different source, we'll see that red tally hop to the other source. So the router output remains on program, but the source tally that we see here is changing. So you can see here, again, I've got a separate router output here that's also receiving that tally. So this can be a little confusing because you say, okay, well, I've got this router output is set to program, and that's effectively overriding the fact that the underlying source may not have its program tally on. So if something has said the router output is on program, that tally goes all the way back and then propagates up to every other system. I think this is good the way it's meant to work, but it's just something that's confusing and one to watch out for.